So this is Tushar Nadkarni. I'm the Chief Growth and Product Officer at Celsius. So I look after a few things for Celsius Network, the product management team, product design, the growth team, and then marketing.
Please tell us more about the Celsius Network platform.
Yes, and I would love for you or as many of your viewers to get the good word out. So Celsius, the simplest way to think about us is a bank for your cryptocurrency, where we pay, interest on the assets that you bring in. The only difference is if you go to traditional banks and you have your U.S. dollars in there or euros in there, the typical interest that you'll get is 0.0015% APY. At Celsius, on your cryptocurrency, you'll get interest, or what we call rewards, as much as 10, 15, 17% APY. And not only is the interest high, right, the rewards high, we also help you compound them. So we pay it every Monday, and it compounds on a weekly basis.
Will the rewards money ever run out? And where does it come from?
So we haven't missed a reward payment on any of the Mondays for the last 4 years that we've been operating. So not only has the platform been 100% uptime, there have been no hacks on the platform, and we've not missed a single reward payment. So I'm very happy, but also very proud that we're doing these things to serve our community in the right way.
How is Celsius different from Coinbase, for example?
So rather than talking about any single competitor, if you just think about our platform and how it was built versus any of the exchanges, really, it was built with the user at the center and not charging the fee to the user. So if you think about our business model, the way Celsius makes its revenue is not by getting the user to transact more or by charging the fees to the user. The way we make our money, which is essentially our yield, is by letting institutions borrow coins or assets from us. And when they pay us yield, we keep maybe 20 or 30% of that yield, and the rest of the 70 to 80% we pass on to the users, right? Are the people in our community that actually bring the coin in. Now, if you think about why are banks giving me so little? If you actually think about it, banks also make a decent amount of yield. The only difference is they pass on all of those margins and the profits to the shareholders, not so much to the people like us that are the depositors.
Who are the institutional investors?
Rather than naming any of the clients, these are institutions that understand where they might be able to make their gains, because they are trying to run a business as well, using some of the vast crypto that we can let them borrow from us.
Please tell us more about your new Las Vegas office.
The interesting part is just a couple of months ago, I was in Las Vegas, and we opened our Las Vegas office, and I'm really excited to have this office open, to bring in talent, and now our customer care center, which, by the way, is a novelty. And when I say this, people look at me like I'm talking some alien language. Like, what do you mean you have a real person on the other end that I can call and the person listens to me, and I can ask them a problem? They're like, yeah, this is not an FAQ or a bot. This is an actual person that you can ask them, hey, I took this loan, I have some questions about this, what does my interest payment look like? Or even if you just want to learn about the platform, right? Hey, how does your yield work or interest? I've heard about Monday reward rates. What do those mean? How do you get them? And things like that, right? We're more than happy to offer that. And again, when you build a model where it's so simple, the mission is so clear to everyone that works at Celsius, that we're keeping the community and the user at the center, that everything else just automatically falls in place. It's an expense item for Celsius, right? Having a call center. Did we hesitate? No. It's the right answer for the user, and we went and did it.
How many people do you have working in Las Vegas?
So right now we have over 100 people at the call center, and we continue to grow as we see more questions and more demand. We almost have to grow at the rate of our users, right? Because the more users that come on the platform, the more questions they might have, and we want to make sure that they don't have this ridiculous wait time that a lot of the other call centers have.
Are you looking to open call centers in other cities?
Yeah, so we're always looking at opportunities, not just in other cities in the U.S., but where our aspirations are to bring the value of Celsius across the globe, right? So maybe the call center may not be in the next city in the U.S., but may not, but we'll place it in places where we want to create jobs, and we want to be able to again influence people to come in, be a part of this movement across the globe.
I'm hearing a lot about government regulation for cryptocurrencies.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing, regulation, right? Like the one thing that I'll say about this is, in a market like cryptocurrency in general, especially in the U.S. or even outside, there are certain places where I think regulation could be a good or a bad thing, right? I think in general, our perspective at Celsius has been that regulation and at least the spirit of regulation is to protect the customers, and we are fully on board with that, right? I think what it will also do is there are certain bad actors, right? Always when there are unregulated industries. What this allows the industry to do is to grow up and weed out some of the bad actors, some of the bad things that are happening in crypto, as you always hear.
What types of regulation might happen?
We're just like a lot of people, we are waiting, patiently for some framework to develop, right? And I think in the next, I think this will, by the way, 2022, along with being the next set of NFT, I think this will be the year of regulation, especially in the U.S. But we're waiting to see what that framework will look like as more regulators are starting to look at it. And again, if you've been following any of the hearings that happened on the Hill, I have complete faith that the people that are looking at regulation of the crypto industry have the right spirit of keeping the user safe in mind.
Some countries have adopted cryptocurrency, while others have banned it altogether.
Yeah, so this is a very interesting question, and by the way, I hear that question a lot, which is Bitcoin, is cryptocurrency really a form of exchange, like a form of trading and exchange of currency, or is it really a store of value? I've always maintained that it's a store of value unless you are a nation that has really, had their currency completely in an inflationary stage where the entire currency has deflated, right? So you're seeing by the way, like my prediction is this year you'll probably see at least 2-3 more countries adopt cryptocurrency as their main form of exchange. Doesn't mean that is what cryptocurrency is for. I would think about cryptocurrency as like a store of value. So it's like you would own an Apple stock or Tesla stock, right? That is how I would think about Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. More like an asset, like buying land. That's right. It's another asset class, right? Except the small difference is this asset class, 99% of the people, 99.9% of the people have had access to it first before that 1% that went through, their private wealth management, and only got access to that before the rest of the folks got access to that.
How do you decide which coins to add to Celsius?
That's a great question. When we think about our overall business, as you said, right? It all starts with demand and supply. So we listen to our community to say like, hey, I have this asset. We're big fans of this coin, big fans of this asset. We'd love to get yield for it. Now we have to balance that with our business, which is, are we able to have this coin on our platform that there is demand to borrow that coin? So you'll always see we're not looking at things like Shiba Inu, right? Because those kind of coin, how do people make money on those coins? When people trade it a lot. We don't make any money when people trade those coins because we don't take any commission, right? The way we make our money is there real demand for that coin, or is it just a speculative coin, right? So all the coins you kind of see listed on our site are coins that actually have real demand in the institutional world. And that's how we think about our general coin.
Why isn't Doji coin on Celsius yet?
Not yet. We have no idea, right? We always think about at any point, any answer that I give you will always be is there enough push from the community? Because we always listen to the community. They're the ones that keep us honest. They're the ones that are the force behind this movement. And is there enough demand on the institutional side for this coin? We haven't seen that yet, and that's why I say, never say never. That's what we talk about.
Any other final comments?
No, look, Celsius Network, it's one of those places where we truly stand by the mission. Anyone that works at Celsius, any of the Celsians that are in the community, they truly live by this mission of financial freedom for the masses, financial freedom for everyone. Give us a look and see what you think. Celsius.network, that's where you can go, or go on the App Store, Apple iOS, or on Android, and download Celsius Network. Great. Thank you.
Thank you.